Hi, how are you? Welcome to Applying to College with Trish. My name is Trish Portnoy, and I'm here to talk about our latest course offering. It's a 10 module college application prep course for parents. So, this course is available online. It offers 50 micro video lessons that will explain the college application process and train you, the parent, in how to guide, monitor, and support your child through the college application process. So in this video, I'm going to go over the course and introduce myself, and we're going to talk about the desired outcomes and how we can train you to help your child succeed during this critical time. Let's take a look. A little background about myself. I am a certified public accountant in the state of New York. Also, I have been a teacher for the past 25 years at both the middle school and high school level. I have a professional diploma in educational leadership and administration, and I'm a curriculum writer. I developed a course called College Freshman Seminar where we walk students through the college application process during the school day, actually as a class period. So after developing the class, I had the opportunity to write a couple of books about it in order to help more parents and students navigate the college application process. So let's get started. So before we start talking about what's in the course, I need to know a little bit more about you. By clicking this link or using your phone, the camera to scan the QR code, I'd like to know some of your feelings about the college application process. What are your concerns? What are your fears? What are you most worried about? Because I'm hoping to address them through this course. So go ahead, give it a try. Whoa, okay, that says a lot. So, from my feedback that I've received over the last few years, including yours, these are some of the concerns that parents have. One, they know nothing about college. They didn't go to college, and they know their child wants to go to college, so they have no idea how to help. Some parents have not applied to college in over 15 years. This is their first child going away to school or going to school, and they don't know how it's done now. When we did it, we had a big book and paper and pens, and some people even used a typewriter. Other things parents are worried about is that college is expensive. You hear in the news all the time about student loan debt and student loan debt forgiveness, and how do these students not be able to afford to live? These graduates, graduates, that now are so strapped with college debt and student loans that they can't afford to live well. Another thing that is a concern is that maybe the communication style between parent and child is not super productive. So, through this course, we will talk more about that. And I'm going to address all of these concerns through the course. So, I want you to feel comfortable with that. Also, some students, some parents, they're worried about that the student's going to go to the wrong school. They're not going to finish, that they're going to make a mistake, right? So these are all valid concerns, absolutely. And this is why it's most important for a parent to be trained and knowledgeable of the process. So let's continue on. So now we come to student concerns. Now, this is a different angle on the same problem. So some students don't have older brothers and sisters. Nobody they know has really applied to college. And if they did apply to college and go to college, nobody really saw how it was done because it's done differently now. So they've never applied to college before. And also, they're a little reluctant to ask parents for help. Sometimes they don't think the parents even have the answers. They don't know what the parents' resources are and the guidance that they're going to have available. And that could be valid because, again, some parents haven't done this process before. I've seen students be totally overwhelmed and not be able to move forward through this process because they're almost like frozen in fear. You know, they're overwhelmed. They're in a state of overwhelm by how daunting this process is. Um, Again, the kids hear it. Student loan debt. It's all over the news, and everybody knows how expensive it is. And that could be a benefit or a disadvantage because kids have no concept of money. of how much something costs or how long it takes to actually earn the money to pay for some of these expenses. So that's what we're getting from the kids. And also they're equally as concerned that they're going to pick maybe the wrong school or head in a different incorrect direction, or they're going to be unhappy in their choices. So again, these are all aspects of concern for the college application process. So let's talk about how my class, how this course that to train the parents will assist in addressing these concerns. So now that I know more about your concerns, both from the parent perspective and the student's perspective, that's how we can create our course outcomes and our course topics. So in order to really approach this process, from a holistic standpoint, you really have to understand your child. There has to be a period or a moment of self discovery and career goal awareness, because that's really going to drive the process. Also, you have to understand how college works, bachelor's degrees, graduate school, the requirements, what it means as far as a major or a program, and how many credits are needed to graduate. So the parent really has to understand the entire system, and then they can help the student in answering questions and knowing which questions to ask. That's an important part as well. Okay, for the actual college application process, there has to be a list of colleges. You're going to start off with a list of 20 to 25 colleges at the onset, but then you're going to kind of weed it down to about 10 to 15. And those are the colleges that you're going to apply to, or your student's going to apply to. And there has to be a mix. We'll talk more about that. You have to be able to complete the college application. So that's now done not with paper and pen, but through a portal on a laptop. Okay, so there's a lot of data entry that's required. College fairs, college visits, those are really important aspects to the college application process, where you can provide information to the schools, but also receive information. Also, we'll talk about the guidance counselor, who is the number one resource. Okay, the value of the guidance counselor is immense. They are experts in their field. They do this day in and day out, and they're a real resource for you to use. And we'll talk about the best ways to collaborate and to get the information. We're going to talk about college costs and other factors. That's part of the decision-making process. You have to understand what the real comprehensive or total cost of attendance will be for the schools. We're going to have to talk financial aid and scholarships, because that is an important part, of the decision-making process. And then when you're getting to that final point of making decisions about schools, school culture and safety, to me, most important. You're investing in an education at that institution, so you really have to understand how what their historic experiences, the experiences of other graduates and students that attend. And then that's going to lead you to that right fit criteria. And again, you're going to get all training materials on all of these course topics, right? So it's not going to be just, I'm going to do a video and just explain and just talk at you. There will be times where I'll be demonstrating, and also you're going to be downloading PDFs off the course site, and you'll be completing it and compiling information. So that is how the course will work. Those are the topics, and all of those topics will address the concerns, both student concerns and parent concerns. Okay, so here's where the magic happens. Applying to college with Trish, Parent Edition, here are the course outcomes. This is where what we're defining on what you'll be able to experience and to achieve by taking this course. So the course is very structured. It has 10 modules. It has 50 small video lessons where you get to hear me explain and to comment and to guide and train you. Okay. It's also going to create an organized paper trail. So you're going to actually have data and documents to refer back to. So throughout the course, you're going to have access to PDFs, websites, training materials. So you will be, you'll have access to that. Also, by following the structured process and the paper trail, this is going to reduce stress. You're going to have a project and it's going to be tangible, which means you're going to be able to hold this binder that we're going to create in your hands and flip through it. And that's something that the student will have access to, as will you. And that's going to lead to improved communication between the team. Because remember, you're on a team with your child, with your guidance counselor, and you're all working together to achieve the greatness. Also, continuing on, we'll have that make sure that our time management function is pretty tight. We're going to make sure all the applications are completed by deadlines, that all documents are submitted, and we're going to make sure we have opportunities to apply for financial aid, scholarships, and grants if necessary. We're going to make you an informed consumer of higher education. I'm going to explain the whole process to you. And again, it's important for parents to understand and have a strong grasp of what's going on with this, because you're going to have to monitor your child. You can't let them do this on their own. Okay, it's too big of a project. It has too many important decisions that will have long-lasting effects. You're going to know, both you and your child will know about the financial commitment that's necessary for the choices that you both make in this process. And also, at the end, it's going to be shared decision making with a data driven component, which means you will have resources, you will have notes and activities and training materials to refer back to. So you'll be able to see how the decision was made and be able to reflect back on that. Okay, so these are going to be great course outcomes, and this is really going to help many parents through this process. And by helping the parents, it's going to help the child. So as far as applying to college with Trish Parent Edition, this is really going to be super convenient for you because it's online access 24/7. It's self-paced. You can go over modules over and over again. There are printable PDFs where you're going to have paper. So a lot of parents like to have a paper trail, and you're going to be given strategies and tips for organization and communication. So it's a full training course. You'll be able to access the course multiple times, and you're going to have a live Q&A with me. And there's a community forum where you can pose questions to other parents that are going through this exact process with you. So this is definitely the way to go for convenience, for training purposes, and you can take it multiple times. All right, so just to give you a brief overview of the process, the college application process has been going on for a while now, whether you realized it or not. It started in 8th grade, where your students decided if they were going to take honors classes, whether their grades, if they're in New York State, they take Regents exams, world language, all of those courses are going to show up on the high school transcript. In addition, any extracurricular activities should be tracked starting in 8th grade, especially if they involved leadership and achievement. Okay, those are heavy hitters when colleges look at the students' participation. In high school, it continues. So all those grades will show up on the high school transcript. Your student is going to have to take the SAT and ACT. Your student is going to have to ask teachers for letters of recommendation. College essays will have to be written, and then finally we'll have to create the activity sheet and resume to be submitted to college. So that part of it will happen during the fall of senior year. Some of it can be done in advance, like the college essays and the activity sheets should really be started in 8th grade, but it is something that it spans many years. Just the paperwork function really is concentrated into the fall of the senior year. And we want to have all those applications done by Thanksgiving. So it's pretty intense. Okay, but do not fear. You're in good hands. So it's not just the steps that we just discussed. There's also more to the college application process. You have to know if your child's gonna apply early action or early decision. It's also good to know if the college's admissions process is rolling admissions or a regular admission deadline. Plus, you need to support your student through the aspects that only he or she can complete, such as taking the SAT and SAT exams, writing the college essay, completing and participating in life to have items to add and experiences to add to the activity sheet. Any other requirements that are required, such as auditions or reels or submissions of artwork. And also, we're going to keep to that Thanksgiving deadline. Then you definitely are going to come in handy when it comes time to complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, and applying to scholarships, because again, that's like a whole separate topic. But again, your help and project management experience is required during all of this, all of it. So let's go get them. All right, wonderful. So, welcome again. I hope you had a great time learning more about applying to college with Trish, that you were able to understand my perspective on the college application process. Trish Portnoy, certified public accountant, teacher for over 25 years, and a curriculum writer, and how the structured course is going to train parents on how to help their own children. You don't have to hire an expert. You can study these materials. Every meeting you go into, you will know the questions to ask, you'll know the pitfalls, you'll know the concerns. And by the end, you're going to have a binder of resources, and it's really resources about your child, and that will drive the discussion. So I hope you register. Please navigate to the course registration link up at the top of the website. And I know that you're going to really appreciate this training and these resources, because it's going to put you in a position of power and support to help your own child and also the other children in your tribe, in your network. Right. So, again, thanks for coming, and thanks for enjoying this presentation. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Keep your future bright.